Hi and welcome to today's video where I am going through BookBrush with co-founder Kathleen, and we're going to go through all of the free and paid tools of BookBrush. There are so many awesome features on this author related website and I'm so excited for you guys to take the tour.
All right, then I'll just go ahead and get started. So thanks for having me today. My name's Kathleen Sweeney. I'm the marketing lead and customer service manager here at BookBrush, and I'm really excited to partner. I'm probably going to say it wrong. I practiced your name multiple times. Nakari?
Yes,
Am I
yes,
close?
you got it right. Everyone gets it wrong, so that's awesome.
I've been working on, I watched videos and I thought, I think I can get this, but then you say it, there are things you say in your head enough times that anything sounds wrong by the time you practice.
Yeah.
All right. Well, good. Well, this is an exciting chance for me to work with you, show you what we can do with BookBrush, and I'm going to allow you to ask any questions you want on behalf of your audience, whatever you think would be valuable for them.
Great. Well, I have, I've been playing around with it, but I do have a few questions about different things. So I'm excited to learn what BookBrush can do.
Fantastic. All right. Well, we built BookBrush as a tool for authors to be able to create all things social media, create those book ads, and then we added lots of more things like a box set creator and book trailers and cool things like that. So we're going to start with the custom creator. On the BookBrush platform, there's a free plan where you can create and download 15 images for free to get your feet wet and see how you're liking things. And that's in the custom creator. So that's where I would like to start first.
Yep.
You can get to the custom creator here in the center where you click custom creator. And then you'll see over here on the left is pretty much the tools and taskbar. And this is our flagship tool. The custom creator is the very first thing we built for authors. And so we love adding things to this and making improvements and things like that as we go along. But the things that you can do in here are create your own image from scratch for different social media platforms, or you can use our community templates too. So if that makes it a little easier for you, for example, if you used up all your creativity writing your book and now here you are trying to make a book ad, you can use the community templates. All right. So you'll see on the left, there's the different ad sizes by the different icons. So there's Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Pinterest. And then if you click on more sizes, there are other cool things like cards, business cards, and postcards and things. Under other, some bookmarks and coasters. So let's say eventually we get back out where we can do normal things again. You could create some bookmarks and coasters like swag for your readers that they could have that go with the books and things. So that could be fun to do in BookBrush.
I did have a question about this. Sorry.
Sure.
So where would you get them printed? So if you did make coasters or bookmarks or anything like that, do you just download the PDF file or something and then
and upload it to a print site? So here in the US, I've used Vistaprint. I'm not partial to them per se, but I've had good luck with them. But I know there are lots of different print sites, and you may have something locally. You could probably also print them yourself if you had a nice printer, depending how many you need. But yeah, you would just download that based on the specifications that's what they're asking for on the print site, and then choose if you need 100 or 500, and then they would probably print them and ship them over to you.
Okay, great. I use Vistaprint too, so that's, I was wondering about that as well.
Yes,
Awesome.
I wasn't sure if it was like everywhere or more US based. I guess everything's everywhere. Nothing is really that hard to get to. All right, so let's just do, we're going to create a Facebook ad from scratch, just as an example. So I'm going to click on the Facebook icon. And you'll see underneath Facebook, there's still a variety of things underneath here. I'm going to choose the Facebook ad, and the dimensions are in pixels underneath. And so it puts it in the workspace. It's 1200 pixels by 628 pixels. And then you can do the steps on the left in any order. And so I want to mention, there are a lot of nice design tools out there, but they're not all designed with the author in mind. So what you'll find here in BookBrush are specific things that are super handy for authors. Maybe not all those other design things that you don't need as an author, but definitely a specialty in things that authors do need.
Yeah.
So I'm going to start. You can go to background, book template, text, or images. I'm going to start with book template because I really do think this is really a hidden gem here in BookBrush. You'll see there are over 90 3D versions of your
I love
book,
that feature.
and they're displayed just with a sample image. I'm going to scroll through so you kind of get a feel. Cover reveals, children's book author sizes and things in here too. So then because there are a bunch, I'm going to scroll back up to the top. You can filter, so you can kind of narrow it down. So for example, if what you want is a physical book, you can click on physical book and you'll see just those options that are physical book ones.
Yeah.
Same for ebook. Now the ebooks are positioned so they face every which way, whereas you'll see under physical book, they're positioned so that you don't need the spine. So we set this up so it'll be the easiest, peasiest way. You just bring in your 2D cover and then you can put it into any of these images and not have to worry about an image for the spine for these creations.
Yeah.
So phone options, audio, hands. Under reveal, a lot of different choices in here, and really depending how revealing you want this to be, there are different choices. Some of these are really new. We just added these recently.
I love this feature so much. I've already used it and it's just so cool because I've seen people do this before and I never knew how to do it. Like I thought you'd have to pay someone, a graphic designer or something to do it. So this is a really, really cool tool.
This is what I think authors think. They see these out there and they're like, where do I get these? This is where you can do it, right in here. So if you're working on a promo, you can do cover reveal, and we'll get to this. But as you're creating things, you can save them as a project in your account and then go and make little changes to them. So you could do your ad with the cover reveal, and then when you're ready to actually show the book, you could just pull up that saved project and then take out the cover reveal and put your whole book in, and then your ad's already done. It's got that same marketing theme because it's the same ad that you had saved, and it just takes seconds to do. So it's definitely a time saver for folks.
Amazing. And marketing is actually so hard, at least for me, for authors, like to know what to do. And it's just, yeah, so this makes it really easy.
It's so hard because you write the book and then there's so much more that you have to go ahead and tackle to get the marketing side. So we'll just choose a quick ebook option. I'm going to pick the second one on the left. When you click this, it will either go to books that you already uploaded. So I have some of yours in here. If you have not already uploaded them, or if you're brand new, you can just click here where it says drag and drop, or click to upload and you can upload your covers there. So I'm going to click on this one. And when you see this spinning icon, the spinning book, it means the magic is happening here in BookBrush land. It's converting it for you.
Oh.
Then you bring it in here and you can, in this top gray stripe, you'll see little messages. It says single click. So you can single click to do some quick editing, like you can resize it this way with the slider. Hip tip and this is my favorite way to resize. I hold the shift key and then just drag the corner to resize, and it keeps it in proportion.
Okay. Yep.
Yes.
That's something that I was having trouble with because I was trying to drag it and it made it like change the proportions a bit.
Super wonky. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Don't panic. There's an undo button in the upper left corner that can get you back where you're at. And so to keep the proportions, the two ways would be the slider here. And if you double click, you'll see the full editing on the left and the sliders here too. But honestly, what's more comfortable to me, my favorite, is just to hold shift and drag that corner. And then it keeps it in proportion, and the aspect ratio is what you want. So that's a little hip tip for you and your followers today. And then we are going to go to adding a background. So we're just going to do the one book in here. When you're creating an ad, you can add as many as you want. So if you want multiple books, either a physical book and an ebook of the same book, just to show readers the ways they can get it, you can do that. Or you could have a line of series of your standalones or a series of books and put them in there that way too.
Idea.
So we'll go to background, and in the background area, you can search from millions of free images, or you can upload your own. And if you're just completely stuck for ideas, you can also try some of our sample searches, like there's fantasy, texture, grunge. I think it's so interesting to try, like under texture, it says, see all. This will give you some things that you probably didn't think about putting in there. If you want to try an image, you just click and it goes into the background. And I'm not sure what this texture actually is, but it's kind of an amazing look that doesn't compete with your cover because it's
Yeah.
just some interesting, something out there. So I love looking in texture just for some different ideas and things to try. I'm clicking on this brick one here. Now I didn't read your book, so I'm just going by some colors.
It's a romantic thriller.
Okay, well that would be right up my alley. I do love the thrillers.
Yeah,
Uh,
this background actually looks good with it.
which one
Oh,
did this one? There's so
yeah.
many. Okay, I can totally go with this one. So let's leave this one. For the background editing, if you want to tweak it a little bit, you can double click in here and you can adjust the size with the slider here. This is a nice time to mention in the lower right corner, there are a couple little icons and one of them looks like an eyeball and I call it the eye icon. And so it helps you see what's inside and outside this workspace. So this background's pretty uniform, but if you find one that's not and there's a tree or birds and you want to move it around, you can help see what's inside and outside. And then you could also grab the corners and resize from there if you want to too. That tends to be my favorite way to resize wherever I'm at is to drag the corners.
That's awesome.
All right. A couple other things here. You can do some transparency with a color underneath. So if you wanted to change the look and feel, oops, I clicked out of that. I wanted to have this like this purple. And then if you adjust the transparency here, you'll see the color showing through. So you can take this same image and you have that similar texture, but you can also just kind of make it more cozy, creepy, whatever you're going for
Love that.
in there. And there's a gradient color option too. If you want two different colors, I'll just show you how that would work. If you had those two in here, and this one could be even more intense. So you see those coming through if you want gradient in the background. And then anything you change your mind, you can just click the X to change it. The transparency you would just remove if you want to. You can blur, which is a nice tip because then your book cover is what's in focus.
Yeah.
So what's the reader's eye going to go to? What's in focus? Your beautiful book cover. So it's perfect. So we could leave that blur on if we want. And then a couple other things in here that live in the backgrounds. The overlays go right on top of the background. If you want to add, like this has just a tiny bit of like sparkle. And then once you add it, you can adjust the transparency. So if you want a lot or a little of the overlays, as well as filters. Now these filters work a little better on an image that's not already kind of gray colors, but you can change, these different colors with the filters, just like when you post to Instagram, you can try those different things. It's amazing how it even works, gives you a bit of variety, even on a background as simple as what we were working with.
Absolutely. And it makes it so unique because if someone else was using the same thing, yours is still going to be a bit different.
Absolutely. There's like no way they're going to end up with the same filter and little things that you tried if you put a little bit of color behind, maybe a little bit of that red and then did a filter. It's not going to be the same as anybody else's. So we're all about creating something unique in here. So that's the background step. Then we will do text. So we will go to text on the left, but I'll pause. Did you have anything else to add at all through this? I don't want to just run right over you.
No, I'm just observing. One thing I wanted to say is that this is so cool that there's so many different elements. Like when I first went into BookBrush, it kind of seems like it's great, but I didn't know about all these little things that you could do. So this is really helpful. I'm excited for my followers to watch this video, and I'm definitely going to watch it back as well when I'm playing around.
We can call it the hidden gems of BookBrush. We'll just keep unveiling them as we go along. And once you get familiar, these things will feel really comfortable to you, and you'll be so glad you knew all these little things.
Sure.
So let's go into text. We'll go to text. On the left, click add a new text box. So it pops into the workspace. You can click and move it around, of course, and then we'll come over here. I'm going to just put in what a page turner. You'll have even more of a quote if and it's yours that you're creating in here. And then the options for the text, again, in this top gray stripe, you can single click. So you'll get some quick editing up here. But if you want the full editing, there's actually 3 ways you can get there. So whatever's the most comfortable again. In the top gray stripe, you can click more options on the right. You can double click the text box itself. or you can click on the left underneath where we typed in what a page turner, you can click edit text style. So this gives you these full editing tools and choices for you. And in here, the top section is for the text itself, and then below is the text background. So if you want to do a background on your text box. Couple hidden gems in here for you. When you're going to font, you'll find listed as default a lot of nice choices in font, and they're displayed in the way that they're going to look. But this is what I want to make sure you don't miss. If you go up to the top where it says add more fonts, you have access to 1,000 fonts in here. So you can really find something that's going to resonate with you, your series, your genre. I love font, so I could spend a lot of time in here, but we'll just do a quick little look. You can filter at the top. So I tend to go for display and handwritten, anything that you want to add to your list. So if you just look through and you're exploring and you see one, I keep looking, you just click and put a check mark next to it to add it to your list.
Yeah.
Then it will appear in that main screen. So you don't have to come in here every time.
So cool.
And this is also where you would upload the custom font. So if you happen to purchase the font that's on your book cover, you could upload it in here. Uploading a custom font is a paid feature. If you're exploring the free plan, these 1,000 fonts are available for free too, so you can try things out. So if you've checked some fonts, when you come over here, then on the left in font, you'll see it says just added. And so those are right there for you that you can try those out too.
I love so much that you can upload your own font too, because then it just matches your book cover perfectly and all your marketing and everything matches.
It's great because you can keep it on brand. The theme is there. People will recognize it's you. It really goes a long way to driving that same theme home every time.
Awesome. Also, I love the color of this background. It looks like bronzy.
I'm liking it a lot. I have so much fun playing with other people's book covers. Whenever I get in to do a session, I love it. So let's just do a couple other like little quick editing things that you can do in here. If you of course can make it larger if you want to, and you'll see the things you would expect to see, like you can center it and things like that. But what you might not expect, and you can change the color, all of the font defaults to white, and you can click in here and change. But if you want to do a complete color match, we have a color picker. So in here next to, there's like a little white circle, and there's an eyedropper next door, and I'm in Chrome. Now, if I bring this over, whatever is in the center is going to match perfectly. So if I click this, now the text matches the color code of the lipstick without needing to know the color code of the lipstick.
So cool.
And so so the circle will change each time, but you can click this and you could come back over, like if you wanted to change different parts of that, or this is white, but obviously white has lots of different colors. It's almost a gray. You can really have fun with that, matching it perfectly. And then you can adjust transparency. I do want to talk about text shadow. So we love text shadow, and it defaults to give you a little bit, and I'm going to remove it, and then you'll see why I love it. So if you take off the text shadow with this slider, now keep your eye on what a page turner, and here we're adding it, and you get that definition and crispness around there, and it's subtle, but yet it's perfect. And you can change the color. So if you want to have that red in there for a different kind of look and feel, you could change it with that. Gives it kind of a glow. And you can continue to go back and forth. So if you think, I want that background a little bit blurred, so I feel that this pops, you can just hop back to the background step and continue to tweak and change things around.
So cool.
Yep, I love playing with this stuff. So this is the text on the top, the text itself. Then down here, if you wanted a background on your text box, you could adjust the transparency and change that. Whatever you want. Maybe you want something that's just a complete different bright color that you didn't have at all, and you can do rounded corners on it. You can do a border on it if you want to, any of those things. So you can play around with that for sure. All right. So you can add multiple text boxes. And I do want to mention, if you spent a lot of time putting together the perfect font and color and things like that, and you need a second text box, in the lower left corner, you can just click the plus button and it will duplicate the text box. So it's in the lower left corner of the text. So essentially, if you need to say another quote that matches, you don't have to go back in and find your size and all those things. So that's handy at times. I'm going to just delete it, and you can delete anything you don't need with this little garbage can in the upper right corner. You can also just click add a new text box on the left if you want to start from scratch. But if you are partway through what you were working on and you want to keep that same look and feel, you can do that and just duplicate. So that's a text box and adding text. And then the next thing on the left, on the lower left, would be images. So we will click on here. In images, you'll find 3 tabs. We have community stamps. These are for everybody. My images are the things that you upload in your own account. Nobody else will see those. And then searchable gives you another 100,000 cool things to search for. So whatever you might need. I don't know if it's going to be a fish or a bow or a bottle of champagne, but you should be able to find it in there.
Awesome.
Under community stamps, you'll see a lot of nice author related things in here. So like, for example, if you need those 5 stars to put underneath your quote, we can add those. And there are filters because there are like a whole bunch. So if you want to try these different buttons and things, in like available at Amazon, for example, underneath says more from Amazon. So if you need to try those different colors and look through there.
Oh, wow.
Audio has different things in here to add. These bookshelves and tables are kind of a sleeper, but people like these because you can line up your books for the top of your newsletter or Facebook group or whatever, and just line your books up on the shelf. So it's kind of a neat way to display those.
Yeah.
So we've got blank stamps. These pair nicely with a text box, so you can just add those. Like, let's say we were going to put your book on sale for 99 cents. We can add this in here. And we can go.
I actually did this and used that exact one for 99
Did you?
cents.
Well, let's pick it. Should we pick a different one? Let's find. I don't know. We could try the purple for something totally different. And then you just go to text. And in this case, I would just add a fresh new text box. I'll just do cents. It's a quick way for that is you hold Alt and type 0162. There's a little shortcut to get you that 99 cents.
Wow.
And so I'm going to do, it's a keyboard shortcut, not like a book brush shortcut. I'm going to do 2 things. I'll make the text a little larger, and at the same time, maybe I'll reduce this a little bit. Now you can layer anything in front and behind with these 2 little arrows in the lower right corner. So if you did this in a different order and your blank text box was on top or below behind, and you want the stamp behind, then you just send the stamp behind. So that's how you can layer different things within the image.
Awesome.
And in fact, if you wanted this one behind, see now it's behind the. So it will move one element at a time. So we actually have between our book, text box, stamps, and things, we have 5 things on the screen. So if you want the first thing behind the last thing, it would take 4 or 5 clicks to get it there because it's going to move one each time. But that can be kind of a neat little way to layer things and give yourself a different look.
Awesome.
So if you were satisfied with this, you can just go to the top stripe, save as a project. On the paid plans, we have a couple different tiers. You can save up to 50 saved projects on the first 2. And then our top plan is platinum, and it's unlimited saved projects. But that just simply saves it in your account so that you can come back and make quick changes to it. But what you want to do is download. So when you're ready, you'll click download, and you can download as a PNG, JPEG, or PDF. And so if you're exploring for free, there's 15 in a circle, and it will count you down as you make those. And then if you step up to a paid plan, it's unlimited downloads. So you don't have to keep track. You can just download as many as you would like to. Mm-hmm. So any questions or comments on, we're just a few minutes in and we just whipped up our very own made from scratch ad.
Awesome. Yes. So actually, I didn't know about the Save As project. I must have just blanked over it, but I was actually wondering about that. I was downloading my designs and I thought, oh no, there's no way to like come back and edit them if I want to make changes. But yeah, that's really, really cool.
Well, and it's super quick if you're wanting to try some different testing of different backgrounds. So you'll find this on the left if you go into templates and projects, and my projects would be the things that are in your account. So they'll be there when you come back later. And then you could just say, you know what, I want to try something totally different. We'll put in, like, if you wanted to try roses. I really have no idea if this goes with your book, but this is like a completely different look and feel. And maybe you were wanting to compare how those would perform. You could swap backgrounds very quickly and crank out a large number of ads.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Another handy thing, I'm going to click back to the one we made, is if you're wanting to promote these on multiple platforms with the same look and feel, once you've saved it and downloaded it, you can pivot back to ad size and then say you want to choose Instagram. You can click that. Don't worry, everything's here. You're going to use that eye icon that I talked about and just kind of rearrange things within this same space, but you've got all the same elements. So it's on brand for you. Your readers would recognize this when they see it. And I'm just going to take my text box. Maybe I'll reduce the size a little bit so it sits across the top and put these in here. And then we can use this eye icon to turn it back off. So it's like the eyeball in the lower right. And then you can save this one and download too. And you could do that for a variety of different platforms, just quick cranking out those ads. All right, so those are completely from scratch. If you are like stuck for ideas or just looking for some inspiration, I also want to introduce the community templates for you. So you'll go to templates and projects on the left, and then instead of the My Projects tab, which is for you, you'll click on the next one, community templates. These are put together by our graphic designer, and they're super nice because you can edit everything about them. So it essentially just gives you kind of a starting point. And you can filter by genre on the left. So if we want thriller, but say we wanted to throw in mystery and crime, just so we felt like we didn't miss anything, you can put those in there. And you can narrow down things in platform, but I just want to make mention, there are so many cool choices in here. So besides what you're expecting from Facebook ads and BookBub ads and so forth, you'll find things like their templates for bookmarks, Zoom backgrounds. If you're looking for street team type things, newsletter samples, all those different things are in here too. And honestly, I would almost not filter by genre because you can see anything and change it if you want to. But I'm going to grab one here and just show you how you would change it. So here's the community template. It's ready for us to change. So you click your book cover goes here. In the top stripe, swap covers. I don't know if there's much blood splatters in this one in your book, but we can either take them or leave them on there, whichever.
There's not, but there is in my other book.
So this, then, okay, I could either just delete or scoot them all the way off and say, you know what, I don't need those. And then we'll click the book cover. And actually, there's two places to swap covers, in this top stripe or anywhere that you see the lightning bolt in the lower left corner. And we can put this one in here. Takes a minute for it to load. And then your text boxes, you can either edit or you could just delete if you don't want that. Modify it however you want. And if you don't want that font or anything you want to change, you can. And then you can save that as a project and download from here. So definitely explore those community templates for some inspiration. All right. Any questions on the creating the ads? Let me know, or feedback, anything you have?
Not yet. I have had a play around with these and I really, really enjoy them. They're so much fun. That's
and I should mention too, they're on the free plan. So if y'all are in there exploring, just wanting to get your feet wet, give those a try because it gets you started off on a nice path, I think.
Yeah, for sure. And it's so easy to use and it just looks so professional.
Absolutely. Well, we have two other things that live here in the Custom Creator that I want to share with your viewers. So in the Custom Creator, you can also do animation and video background effects. And these are pretty cool. Have you played around with them?
No, but I saw someone did that on Instagram, and I was going to ask you if BookBrush offered that because I think it's really cool, but I couldn't figure out how to do it.
Yes. Okay. So we're going to go to the My Projects tab and we can pull up one we already did here. So we'll take this one. I'm going to click on the background and I'm actually just going to use the garbage can here to delete what we have. And then when we go to the background step, there are actually 3 tabs. And typically, and what we just looked for here, and typically what you're looking for are images. But if you go next door to the videos tab, you'll find all these different video background effects. So one of my favorites is smoke. It works with a lot of genres, and I feel like it'll work with this one too. I'm going to
Yeah.
take your text box and make it dark, and then get rid of my text shadow here. Maybe we'll make it bold. And then we'll go back to the background step here. And then I'm going to add the video effect. So there's different little thumbnails. You can see the number of seconds in the upper left corner, but we'll click and add it. Now, when you add it, then you can see there's now a play button in the top stripe. So we'll push play. And at about 2 seconds in, here it comes. This smoke rolls up and it kind of reveals your text we changed it to black. So it's like a secret message.
That's so cool.
And so the system then can tell, I love it, that you did this. And so your download options then have a 4th option for an MP4 video. So you'll see that. And then if you save these as a project, which we'll do that real quick in the top stripe, it'll save as a little mini GIF. So you can see what that's doing in there.
Cool. And you can use this on Instagram or anything like that.
Yep. So anywhere that accepts an MP4, it's because this is going to download as an MP4. And so you can post it anywhere that would accept an MP4.
Awesome.
And then this gives you just a little quickie version of what it's going to do. So you'll see that happening. Now, if we click back on the left to templates and projects, you'll see this one's in here doing its little version. And then you can pull it back up and change things if you want to. So along with the video background effect, let's do an animation too. So let's click on the book. And you don't have to combine these, but since we're here, we'll just do both. So each element can be animated. I probably wouldn't animate every single one. It could be a little crazy, but let's take the book. And over here on the left, you'll see there's animations. So you'll click add animation. And these are organized by attention grabbers, backgrounds, entrances and exits, but I don't want you to miss anything. So we're going to click at the very bottom, see all 100 plus animations. And so this shows you in the categories. So attention grabbers are first, and see on the left, it can bounce, it can flash. You can make your book jello. I mean, that's pretty cool. And then the entrances also combine with the exits. So for example, if you're going to have something fade in left, you could then combine an exit where it fades out right. So you could have it coming across and add more than one animation if you want to. So let's just have our book fade in left just for fun. It's set for 3 seconds and then it will stay put. So when we push play, 2 things are going to happen now. We've got the book coming in and here comes the smoke. So it's kind of a cool effect.
Love that.
I do too. And you can play around. I'm going to pause it with the animation. So on the left, once you add it, you could set it to delay for 2 seconds and then have it take 4 seconds to come in and fiddle around with those kinds of things. So we could push play. So it's going to take, it doesn't come in till the 2 second mark. And then, oh, that's so cool. And so anything with animation or anything with a video background effect will download as an MP4 right here for you. And all of the paid plans are unlimited on those. So you don't have to worry about how many you're doing. You can download as many as you would like.
Awesome.
So definitely try those out and let us know what you think. I think you'll have fun with those. All right, well, we've got more tools to look at. So unless you've got any other comments or questions or anything in here, I'm going to head into the next tool. All right, so next we are going to go to, in the top stripe, we're going to go over to tools and we're going to go into instant mockups. This is our most popular tool because it has all of these real life images. Over here, you can see with books in them. So people did, when you see these, people did not make a cup of tea and set their book all up and try to take their own picture. They just uploaded their 2D cover. I'm going to click show all. We do have over 1,400.
I always see these sorts of images on like book reviewers' Instagram pages, and I always just assumed like they put so much effort into it and like set up these beautiful backdrops. They probably use this.
There probably, I mean, I'm sure there are some people who are doing that, but I
Mm.
think there are a lot of folks who will just make use of these. So the steps are organized. Step 1 on the left, you choose your book. So we can pick your, I'll pick the other one that I uploaded of yours. And then in step 2, you got the option to use keywords and filter if you want to. If you're on a free plan, you'll see a keyword that says free. So there are some open on the free plan, but typically these are the gold plan and higher. And then we'll just click some and I'll show you how it works. So as you click through, so this is step 3 here in the center, we're picking these different ones, and each one that you click, you'll see it's outlined in that like book brush color here.
And you can pick multiple at the same time.
Yep, I'm going to click through. We'll do a handful. They take about 4 seconds per image to download. So I don't want to do too many, but we've got different holiday themed ones. So you could get a jump on your fall or your Christmas book marketing, any of those types of things. I'm not sure how many I picked. We'll stop there and then we'll go down to step 4 at the bottom, convert now. And then these will work their way across and I'll show you how nice they turn out.
I love these so much.
It's definitely our most popular tool just because they're so eye-catching and like super duper easy.
Exactly. It takes no time at all and they look so good. I've made like 50 of them already.
Awesome. Now, because we did more than one, they're going to download as a handy zip file. So we'll click download your images. If you ever do just one, it will download just as a PNG. So you don't have to worry about the zip file. We're going to do extract all because it's a zip file here. And I can't wait to show you. All right, here's the first one.
Wow.
I don't even have a hammock. Like that would be really hard to put together.
I just bought a hammock the other day. It's great.
Okay, well, you can take your own if you want to on those.
Wow.
Kind of a winter theme, cozy up with a thriller. I love it. The color in this one with the blood splatters, I'm kind of liking that. And I'm a sucker for anything with a swimming pool too, because I don't have one. So those are the instant mock-ups. And they're ready to go right to social media, or what some folks do is they pull them into the tool we were just in and then they add to them. So you can bring them in as an image or a background, and then you can add text or stamps or anything else you want to right in there to personalize them.
That's something I was wondering about too, because I kind of thought it was just like you make it in here and then download it and then that's it. But yeah, I was wondering about text and
yep, I'll show you. I have some separate classes and I'll show you where they are at the end, that we look at one tool at a time. It's like the right size for your brain, and they're free classes, but one of them is Instant Mockups 101. And I show just different little ways that you can bring them in and personalize them with the tools in the custom creator to just add a little something. And even if it's just putting your website address on there or a sale date, you can do that real quickly, and then it takes it up a notch and makes it uniquely yours, which is kind of cool. All right, so those are the instant mockups, most popular tool, I think, just because they're eye-catching and so easy to use.
Yep, definitely.
All right, so we've got more things to look at. We are going to next go into the box set creator. Just real quick, we'll go into tools, box set creator. And this tool, have you played around with this one yet?
A little bit. I've got 2 books that are the first book in series, so I'm excited to use this tool when I've got like the next books out in the series.
Wonderful. I think what I'm going to do today is take your 2 first books that I put in here and pretend that they're a set for the purposes of this. So what we found when we were working with authors and building this tool is a lot of people did not have an image for their spine and they needed to create one. So on the left, you'll see it says choose a box set, but then underneath it says, do you need to create a spine first? And you probably do. So that's what you're going to click. Again, community templates, totally easy to use these to design your spines. And we've got all these cool options here. I'm just going to grab one. And so this works just like the custom creator, pretty much your cover, you can swap. So we can put this one in, then the text, I can change this. And
Wow.
of course, you've got access to the 1,000 fonts, so you can find something that really works for you. We'll just pick something different here. We'll take the one. If you wanted to change the font on that, you totally can.
Wow.
So this is going to be spine number 1. So what you'll do, save it as a project. I'm not going to, just because we don't need it here, but you want to save it as a project in case you want to make changes to it. And then you're going to click download. And there's a little step in here where you save it right into spines. So you're going to open up this Twizzle here, save into spines.
Okay.
So we've just done spine number 1, and then we'll make spine number 2. But did you have a question?
So where do they go? So they save on your computer in a spines section. So
They actually save in BookBrush in a spine section.
okay,
So
right.
they'll be here for you. They don't download to your computer anywhere because they're not really that handy other than here in the box set creator. So it's just saving it into the spines folder essentially. And then if we were, yep, to make the next one, then we just swap the covers and we'll take that one, change it. Whoops. If I can type, and then that one I would reduce the font just a little bit more. And if you had books with different, like, a similar theme, but the color was different, you could change the color on the font in each one. We'll take that one, and this, for the purposes of this will be book 2. I'm going to extend this over here just a little bit, and then we're going to save. Oops, I didn't need to save it as a project. You want to, but where I'm going is I'm going to download it into spines. So open it up. And so it actually, I should have pointed this out because this was your question. It says choose where to save your image in BookBrush. So it's just going to save into the spines in here.
Okay.
Now we'll just do a 2-book set. So you can go to the left where it says box sets. And then there are 2 versions, kind of like a thinner on the left and a little bit thicker on the right. And either one, so I clicked the thicker one, it can have from 2 all the way up to 10. So you just keep writing and you can keep making more books in here. We'll do the 2. And then you're just going to assemble it. So it's just asking you here for spine number 1. So we'll come over here and add the one we made. Then it asks for spine number 2. So we'll add that. And since it's a 2-book set, the 3rd image is going to be the cover. So we're in the spines tab in here. We can go to the covers tab and we'll just use one of these. The next tool we're going to go into is the cover creator, and it would be an easy tool to use to make one that represents your box set if you want to do that. So the magic is happening in the background. All right, there's a quick box set image. Of course, you could change, so it wasn't blue, you could match all kinds of things, but that just took us a matter of minutes.
Yeah, awesome.
And you would open this, save it into the images so you can use it in your marketing ads, and then you'll click save to your computer. And you've got a quick box set image. That looks pretty good for as little of time that we spent on it. Definitely. And I feel like if you need these box set images, this could really save you a lot of time and money because you're not waiting for the graphic designer to do it and paying them a ton of money too.
Exactly. And it's a really good skill to have as an author anyway, because you're going to keep putting out books forever, probably. So it's just really good to.
And so if you've saved your spines in there, then when book 3 comes along and book 4, you can just add those. Now, this is just an image. You're not getting the box. It's not actually being created, but we had a lot of folks, especially like right at the beginning of the pandemic, when they were in a rush to market their books as a box set because people were ready to buy that. They thought, okay, I'm going to be home for a while. I could be reading. And so if the authors could get their images created to market as a box set, they could be selling those. So it was good timing for folks.
Yeah.
One good thing of the pandemic, I suppose.
We're in lockdown here at the moment. This is month 2. So
we are doing better than we were. Like, we are out and about a little more, but we've been through, a variety of different phases for sure. So this is the box set creator, and this is on gold plan and higher too. So just to kind of keep that in mind. And I should mention, if you're somebody who has your spines, you could bring them in. You could skip this spine design step, but a lot of folks just didn't have that. They have the cover, but they don't have the spine. So they can make it in here.
That's awesome.
All right. Well, next we're headed into the cover creator. So we'll head into tools and cover creator.
I do have a question in the cover creator section.
Absolutely. Go ahead and fire away.
So if you're making a cover in here that then you can use to sell, I know with Canva, if you sell a certain amount of copies, then you have to change your cover because it becomes copyright or something, because it still kind of belongs to them. So I was wondering if there's anything along those lines, or like you can just sell like 1 million copies of your book and still keep the same cover.
Yeah, in BookBrush, anything that you create and download is yours to use however you want. I would save the copy of your cover in here. So when you win an award, you can put the award stamp on there, or put in, if your cover changes to say USA Today bestselling author, to add that, but there's nothing requiring that you need to change it after you sell 1 million or before you sell. Just get to 1 million. That'd be perfect.
Oh, that'd be good.
Yeah, but no requirements in here as far as that's concerned.
Cool.
You can do ebook, print, or audio in here. And we do also have the Kindle Vella, because folks are working on those for the episodes. Those are different though, because it feels funny that there's no text, but we do have Kindle Vella templates in here too. So I'm going to create with you an ebook cover from scratch. And then I'll also show you that we have community templates, because both are pretty handy for different reasons. And I think this is a tool that can really help you in a variety of places in your writing journey. So you could design your first cover in here, or you maybe already have your cover designed, but you could do the print wraparound in here when you get to that point. You also have folks who they have the vision, and so they use this to mock up what they want to send to their designer. So they're still using a designer, but they're getting things put, just a visual look in here, and then the designer can take it from there.
That's really good.
And also we've had some folks who typically use a designer, but they just have a short story to use for their newsletter. And so they'll do a quick cover in here, so it makes it seem official, but yet it's not maybe one that they would pay the designer to do since it's short. So that would be another option. So let's just click on ebook. You have Kindle, Kobo, Wattpad, and then the Kindle Vella's in here too. And if we choose Kindle, then we can just do a complete cover from scratch. So the steps on the left work in the same order. We can do background. So what do you think for a thriller? Like, let's put in spooky and see what we get here.
Oh.
Tell me if you see one you want to try. I kind of like the forest.
Yeah. Forest is good.
I'll click different ones so you can see there's this one, and this is a nice time to use what I was mentioning for the eye icon to see what's outside the area. Like if you kind of like that creepy little window, or if you don't, you could scoot it all the way off. Either way.
Cool.
We'll go with this one if that's okay with you.
Yeah.
All right. And then, so you've got your background, then you can go to text. So we'll go to text. I'm going to name it The Forest. Clearly I'm not like the idea think tank for the names of the books, but we'll go with that. And this is actually why we added the 1,000 fonts, because we wanted folks to be able to really create something unique for their cover. So we'll just make it bold. We'll make it much larger. If it word wraps, no problem. Just grab the side and make it bigger. And then I'm going to center it. I'm going to duplicate it. So we'll put it down here. And this one can be our, did I spell it correctly?
Yep.
Okay. Okay. And then we'll make this one smaller. So here, I'll get you started on your next book for today. We'll go ahead and here's your newest book. Now, one other cool tool that we added for the cover creator, but you can use it in other tools, is background removal. And so this helps folks to create something that didn't exist before. So for example, if we want to have a person in our forest, part of our thriller story, we can do this by going to background, and I'm going to search for back, like a back of a person. And then what this tool does is it removes the background from this image. So you'll just have the person by themselves. So let's say, let's try this girl that's sitting on the dock here. I'm going to click these 3 little dots and click remove background.
Wow.
Have you played with this yet?
No, I have seen you do a demonstration on this, and I thought it was really, really cool.
It's extra cool because it also works on images that you purchased. So if you bought an image with a person that you want to bring in here, or yourself, you know, you can do that.
Wow.
So here she is, ready for this new spooky adventure. And then you can layer, so you can use those 2 little arrows in the lower right. And she's going to be in here just like an image, like a stamp. So you can do things where if you want to add a filter, you can do that. And I'd be tempted, I'm going to click on the background. I would be tempted to lighten it or add a filter potentially to change that up. I spend a lot of time fiddling with those. Let's go with this one.
That's so
You can
cool.
kind of see the difference in there. And then for her, just blur a little bit. We could have the background blur a little bit. And maybe you actually, let's try. See how she looks in this black and white. Maybe that's the ticket. We'll try this. So something that didn't exist before, because we just use background removal to kind of create this. She kind of looks ghost-like, so I think maybe I like that. We'll take the blur off of it. You would save it as a project again in the top stripes so that you're able to come back and make changes if you decide you want her not to be in that, you know, those colors. You can do that. And then I would also suggest to come down here and kind of zoom in and zoom out to give yourself that sanity check on how that looks when your readers see a tiny version. So in the lower right corner, zoom in and zoom out.
Cool.
And then you would download this, you would click in here, and then there's a spot to save it into covers so that you can use it in instant mockups and all those different things. So just like when we save the spines into spines, we'll save the cover right into covers right here. So that's creating your own cover from scratch. Pretty easy to do for, you know, whatever your purposes are. And this is also where folks will make one for the box set. So if you've got your different book covers, you could create one and either list the titles or have it say box set. So many options so that you have one to use in there that looks box set related. So that can be cool too. All right. Any questions in here on that, on designing your own?
I'm just excited to see the wraparound. So is that like for print?
Yes.
So yeah, I'm excited.
So we can switch when we go to size. If we did print, I'm going to leave this in the workspace and we'll just work with what's there. But print's going to ask you a little more questions. So you'll choose your trim size. So let's say we were going to go like 5 by 8. And choose your paper type, which is important because the thicknesses are different. So let's say cream, which usually fiction is cream, and maybe our page count is 325 pages. And we'll click submit. So it gives you this perfect size in the workspace for a 5 by 8 trim size with 325 pages of cream paper. And then in this case, I'm gonna just reposition everything within this fuller size here. So we'll just click, move things around.
And is that the barcode where it would go?
Yep, that box is just a placeholder for the barcode. And so that's where they'll put it when you upload it. If you want to upload your own barcode, you can go to images and go to the My Images tab and you could bring it in here. And you can also see that this girl is in here again. So we could add her multiple times and it doesn't cost you a credit those additional times, just the first time you remove the background. So you could then have her in your marketing images and she could be a part of all those different things to keep the kind of that recognition. When you would save this as a project, you'll see that white box is not there. So it only appears in the workspace for you. And really, we just did it so people didn't accidentally put something important there that's going to get covered up, and that would be disappointing. This is also a nice time. I'm going to click on your author name and click the duplicate for the text box. And so if you were going to work on the spine, over here on the left, underneath add a new text box, you can click rotate to the nearest 45 degrees. So you just click rotate, rotate, and it lines it up really nicely for the spine. And I would just reduce the font here. You can rotate any element with this circular arrow. So I'm clicking on the text box for the forest. You can rotate it here like this, but for the spine, I would use the rotate to the nearest 45 because it's a nice crisp vertical line for you. All right, so that's the print wraparound. If you are in print and you already have a cover, you can click over here on the left under add your covers. And then this is optional, but you could bring in your front cover that's already done. And then you could design the rest of it using the book brush tools.
Oh,
So folks do that too. You know, they've already got that, then they can create the rest of it.
very cool.
Yep, and then always save as a project and you are ready to download. And the print cover typically would then be a PDF. So you can download from there.
This is really cool too if you can't afford a cover designer, because sometimes cover designers can be so expensive. So that's really
Absolutely.
cool.
Yes, and if you feel like you're not qualified or you're not sure where to start, I'll show you the community templates too. So again, we've got something to help you. So we'll click on templates on the left, and our graphic designer puts all these things together. You can filter on the left by type. So if you just want to look at ebook, print, or audio, and you can also filter by genre, but I don't want you to miss anything. So we'll just leave these different choices in here. What I like about this, oh, go ahead.
Oh, I just was gonna say, I love that one at the top, the angel one. It's beautiful.
This one here in the oh no, on the left. Okay, let's go for that one. So anything you click is going to go here into the workspace. I like it because it gives you a nice look at what would go where for a cover in your genre, but you can use these tools to change everything. So this happens to be 2 different text boxes because they're different sizes, but you're going to change the font, the name, the title, and maybe you do want to switch these. Maybe you want these here and you want your author name, oops, you know, down at the bottom. You can do that if you want to. Yep, you can do all these different things. I didn't talk about color blurs, but I'm super in love with those. So let me mention, because I think there might be one on here. If you go in images in community stamps, there's a section called color blur. And I love how this can add, let's do this blue just because it will really stand out.
Okay, cool.
Yep.
Wow.
And so you can make it super big, and then you're going to use your little arrows to send it in front and behind of each thing one by one. It won't go behind the background image, so you would not have it behind there, but you see how you can get that different fade look. And you can layer color blurs, and you can also adjust the transparency on them if you just need a teeny little bit of a color hint of something. So we added the color blurs kind of so people could work on their covers and create some neat things in there.
And that little image on the back cover at the top, do you have things like that you can switch it out with? Or
We do. So if you go into images over here, I think they're under effects. Well, these are a little bit different. So you just, those are actually look a little bit different. Those are kind of a different type of color blur, but you might also see, they might be under other, or I think they might be in decorative. I play around in here a lot, so I'm not always sure where the newest little bits are, but I see some different things in here. And also you can go to searchable, and you could just search like oops, I was trying to put divider. Or you can put scroll, you know, anything, like if you like this little one here. Now that's black, it's not white, so it wouldn't be the same type of thing, but you can find those, and you can upload your own. So if you find something and want to bring it in, you can bring it into My Images. Really unlimited options by the time you explore all those different things. All right, so we've got one tool left, the Trailer Creator, but I'll just pause here and see if you have any other questions in here before we head into Trailer Creator.
So you'd save this as a PDF and then you could just upload it to Amazon or like Ingram Spark or anything?
Yes. I'm sorry, I didn't close the loop on that. Yep, you would download these as a PDF, and then we've had success stories from both of those places. So it's all set behind the scenes to be the proper size. What you want to do is make sure that you're covering all the edges. So for example, I'm going to bring this down. See how you can, if there wasn't a color behind there, you can't hardly tell there's a little strip at the top, but when you use this eye icon, you can definitely see. It's super important that everything covers so that you don't, I'd want to put that back up to the top. I need to move this. So you don't leave that little white strip there because it won't be the right size. So that's on the author to make sure they're covering all the edges so that the trim size downloads properly. But yep, so then you would just download it here as the PDF, and then you can send it to whatever platform you're looking to print on.
Right, that's really, really cool.
It's so exciting when we hear folks, or they'll post in our Facebook group and say, hey, I did it. I made it in here and it worked. And they're so excited.
That's so, so good. Love that.
All right. Are you ready for Trailer Creator?
Yes, this is something that I wanted to know about. I was trying to make a trailer yesterday, but I was having a bit of trouble, so I'm excited.
All right. Well, let's jump in. So we will go in this top stripe to Tools and the Trailer Creator. And this is in beta testing on our Platinum plan. And this is a game changer. So there's just so much that you can do with this. As I've done in a couple of the other tools, I'm going to suggest a community template because I think it makes it the easiest to start with that instead of starting from scratch. So I'm just going to click on one. We'll click here. And I'm going to play it for you. And then I'll show you how you can edit it. I'll pause it there. So this one's already put together. It's a quick little 38-second one. And this is in easy mode. So all you'll do is click at the bottom where it says get started. And you just work your way across and update this. So this one is a nice general one, I think, that you could use for really any genre because you're going to substitute all of the images and pictures and things like that with whatever suits you. So you'll see on the left, it says trailer elements. The first thing is the music note. And so if you like this music, just fine, you can leave it, but I like to change everything. So you can pick different music. We have over 100 types of commercial-free music over here on the left, and they're organized by bright, emotional, epic, romantic, dark, and you can play these different ones. So we'll play this one. Okay, so if that works for you, we'll just go with it. You would click the plus button and it says add to video, and you get this confirmation in the bottom that you've replaced the music. You can replace it multiple times, but that would just be how quickly you do it. There is also a tab on the left for My Music, and so you could upload your own, and really it's just an audio file. So besides music, you could also upload yourself speaking a blurb about, reading, which would be really cool. Either read a part of it or talk to folks about it. So consider audio, not just music. Think outside the box for that one. All right, and then you'll just work your way across. So we'll click next on the bottom. And then this is the first one, the first background video, and you replace or leave it. And so over on the left, you can see there are 4 tabs. So there's search and saved with like a little video camera, and then search and saved with a picture. So you can bring in your own videos if you have them, but if not, we can just search. Let's try spooky again. We'll see what we get here. And you can hover over to see kind of what they're going to do. We'll put this one in. So this will be our first one. And we'll click next. And you can change your text. We'll just pick a different. And you can move it around if you want to move it in the box. You can change all the different things, but we'll just leave that there. And we'll click next. Replace the background. Let's pick a different one. I'll try this storm. And then next, and we're going to change our text again. I'm not changing the words. You, of course, would change your words, but I'm just moving these things in here. And then this one again, background video, but let's try a picture. So the first two, we replaced it with a video. If you do a static image, it will have the animation on it. So it's just a moving image, the Ken Burns effect. So let's do a spooky image. Spooky seems to be my go-to for today. I don't know.
There's lots of cool things in the spooky.
Yes, for sure. So next, and I'm just changing these to the same font for something different. And then we'll replace this one here too. How about our same one that matched our book cover? And then we'll put in one of your covers here.
Are you able to make them all the same if you want it to just be one long video of like the same background?
Yes, you totally could do that. I'll show you how you can change it in advanced mode. Let me play this one. So I'll show you our handiwork here. So if you wanted to just see what we created. And we'll pause. So here is easy mode. In this top stripe, I'm going to click over to advanced. And this is what's happening behind the scenes. This whole timeline is set in here.
Oh, wow.
So you could take any of these videos and delete, change, whatever you want. I like this as a starting framework for you because, like, for example, this first passage here is set to hide, then zoom in, then hide again. So you can do these things, but it's nice to have that as a starting point. Then you can delete anything you want to. But if you, so I could delete this one and maybe even move these down and have this video stretch longer if you want to. So you could totally modify or shorten the whole thing. If you really didn't want it to be that long, we could just have these. And then it would just be a matter of shortening some of these other things down here to get, or maybe you don't even need this last. Let's see here. We'll scoot these. My text, I don't want it to overlap. This would take a little bit longer than what we're doing here, but you could get the idea. We'll go back out here. I'm going to switch back to easy mode and we'll see what we ended up. Oops, I wanted to go back to the beginning though. So this has the different text coming in, but you could shorten each one and then just have the one or two video effects. So you could make it work for sure. All right. So in advanced mode, you can also add additional books if you want to. You could add the Amazon stamp. And then to do that, you would just, like, for example, if we wanted to do the Amazon stamp, you could go to images. Let's do the white Amazon here. Anything you add is going to be in the entire book trailer unless you add some animation. So when I double click, then it's down here in the timeline, click plus, and then I can have it do something. Like if I want it to fade in, and then I'm going to click it in the timeline and move so it fades in a little bit later in the timeline, if that makes sense. And I can pull it up, and you can also lock the background. So as you scroll, if you have these tiny, you can make sure that your different effects are doing it with the piece of the background that you want it to match, if that makes sense. But advanced mode can be a little intimidating. So anything that you can edit and do in easy mode, I think feels more comfortable. And then you can switch back and forth to toggle into advanced to make those quick changes and then go back into easy. So it's not so overwhelming. But yep, that is how you can do a book trailer. So that's going to be a game changer because unlimited downloads on those as well.
Awesome. I'm going to make one today.
Fantastic. I can't wait. If you're in the Facebook group, you'll have to post it in there. Or if you put it on your YouTube, then let me know. I'll come take a look. I would love to see it. All right. So I just wanted to mention for folks who might want to learn more where those different classes are. So if you go to the account page, there's a spot here that says more webinars. And we have these different 101 sessions that just focus on one tool at a time. So they're like the right size for your brain. And like today, we had to buckle up and go through everything. You're along for a big ride. This, if you want to just learn a little more about one certain thing, then you can and get a good grip on those different tools.
Awesome. That's so good.
And these are recorded because I do not want you getting up at odd hours to try to join me live for these. That would be terrible.
Oh, it's so hard with the time difference trying to plan like when
Yes. You're already having tomorrow. I mean, I'm still on tonight.
Yep.
Yeah. I do want to mention for your followers the different plans. So explore the free plan on bookbrush.com. And then I'll scroll down here. If you decide to explore the different features or you want to upgrade for unlimited downloads and things, the tiers are Plus, Gold, and Platinum. And I was exempling this in a Platinum plan, but you can see the Plus plan, these are all paid yearly, is $99 a year. And you have the unlimited downloads in the Custom Creator. And then you have the animation, video backgrounds, and the cover creator. Gold is the most popular because it adds the instant mock-ups and the box set creator. And then Platinum is pretty awesome if you treat yourself to Platinum because you have the book trailer. You get 10 background removal credits per month, so you have those to use. And then there are some exclusive Platinum instant mock-ups as well.
Awesome.
All right. So any other questions, let me know.
I do have one. I just want to know, like, how long have you guys been around? Because I only just found out about you like a month ago. So would have been so helpful.
I wish you would have heard about us. We have been around for about 3 years, so not an extremely long time, but enough that we feel like we're getting to know a lot of great authors, and we can't wait for more folks to try out the tools because it's just a special tool in the author niche, which is what makes it so wonderful for people to be able to explore and get just what they need, not too many other things, but specifically things that are great for authors.
Absolutely. Great. Well, thank you so much for taking me through it. And now I'm able to show all my followers as well, which is awesome. I've been telling like all my author friends about it. How cool it is.
Wonderful, wonderful.
So thank you so much for watching this video. I do have a video myself of me going through the free version of BookBrush as well, so I will put that up here in the cards if you want to check that out as well. So please don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. That would help me out a lot, and I will see you in my next video.